Hi, good evening. My name is Jay Rothman, and welcome to Real Men, Real Talk Live. Welcome back to the show this evening. My name is Jay Rothman. I am the host of the show, and I am excited to introduce my co-host. Coming in from around the world, we have Evis Heath, the man of the lamp from down under. He calls Australia home. Welcome, Evis Love.
Thanks for having me, brothers.
And of course, we have Mr. Josh Ritcher. He calls Southern California home. Welcome to the show this evening, Josh Ritcher.
Great to be here.
And last but not least ever, Mr. Jeff Fasano, Nashville, Tennessee is where he resides today. Although just in a couple of 24 hours, Jeff Fasano is going to find himself in Southern California where Josh Ritcher resides and where I currently have been for about a week now and may, in fact, extend my trip by one more week so that the three of us may get together next week. But in any event, it's not about us. It's about you, the viewers. And so welcome to the show, viewers. If you should hear something that you like or love, I invite you to tap your love button on your monitor and light us up the way my shirt is being lit up tonight by the Southern California sun here. If you should have a question for us or want to drop a comment in a comment section, drop it down and we'll do our best to acknowledge and put up as many comments as feasible as it can make sense for us to show this evening. As we wait for our viewers to jump on, gentlemen, it's been another week in 2021. We are approaching the last week in June. I think we're actually in it. Pretty hard to imagine that we are almost halfway done with 2021.
Oh, yeah, brother. And we keep asking our brothers and sisters over there, are you the one? Come on, we're nearly past this halfway of the year. We are there. So, yeah, man, 100% Jay.
Yes. So we have Sherry Olsen says, great evening, superstar brothers. Elizabeth Richter's coming in from overseas. It's middle of the night for her. She says, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Mary Kelly, of course, is very close to where I'm located, somewhere in Southern California, very close to the ocean. We got an ocean breeze coming in right now. But in any event, tonight's topic is an interesting one. It's all about up-leveling. And what does that really mean? Every level has a devil. And so what does a devil look like? Is it toxic people, places, or things, or is it in our own thoughts and our behaviors? What's the mirror showing you right now? Are you in an up-level or are you in a downshift? And also, what are your priorities now for your next up-level? What story are you willing to release or break the chain to for your breakthrough into your next up level? And so, of course, we also have, as part of that up leveling, what script are we willing to drop, and or what script are we creating in a now? And so, what are the steps to up level? We're gonna dive into that and hopefully break down some steps and how to shift from low gear into high gear into a up leveling. Being that you're in the top shelf with me, I always invite you to kind of warm us up, and so here we are in this moment. Ev, I'm going to invite you to warm us up and light us up into our up level Real Men Real Talk Live this evening.
Thank you, my brother, and give us a thumbs up out there, my brothers and sisters, if Jay looks beautiful in pink. Come on now, Jay.
Yeah,
it is lit on you, man. It is lit.
Yes.
Whether you want to call it magenta, fuchsia, give us a thumbs up out there, my brother.
Wait a minute. Hey, Ev, are you referring to the makeup that looks real pink tonight, or is it the red shirt that's coming off as hot pink due to the sun setting?
Oh, brother, I just thought it was lip balm on your lips. Oh, that's the shirt. Yeah, of course.
The shirt, of course. What's that?
I think it's that Southern California glow. That's what I'm going with.
I'll take that one. welcome, Carrie Crary. She says the painting too. Yeah, it's a beautiful oil painting. Carrie's coming in from the state of Arizona, where I call home. Jason Heath coming in from the land from down under. He says, hello, family. He says it's been a while. Sorry, but life got a tad busy, but I'm still here to share some love. And welcome, Jason Heath. Welcome back to Real Men, Real Talk Live.
Yeah, beautiful. That's my cousin over here in the land down under. And I guess warming us up, my brothers and sisters. Let's start diving in because Jay's brought up a couple of beautiful quick layers that we can start diving in about the show tonight. And I did a little quick video this morning about what up-leveling was to me. And I guess coming into this new way of living, this new way of earth, as I'm always talking about, we all, each and all, have had really an opportunity, an option, more so a choice to up-level within our life, the way that we move through our life, the relationships, the people, places, and things that come around us to really help us experience this beautiful thing that we do have called life. But my question is to you, my brothers and sisters, like Jay mentioned, are you willing? Are you ready? Player one, are you ready to let go of the old game, the old story, the old show that you've been playing out up until this point? Because when we do look at some of these things that have been happening in our lives, particularly after that big year last year, I'm sure if you've been taking these extra downloads, my brothers and sisters, your life would be up-leveling right now. And just there, like my lit cousin there, I've seen his life up-leveling just in over the matter of months. And I see many of our brothers and sisters here on this side of the pond and also on the other side of the pond, whether it's on your personal profiles, whether it's what you guys are sharing onto our page and at Real Men Real Talk Live, that there are plenty of our brothers and sisters up-leveling. So I know it's not an easy ride for our brothers and sisters, and even on my own personal experience, I'm always getting shown and being initiated into how much I've up-leveled. And each level, like Jay said, has a devil. How has that looked for you? Has it looked for you in the sake of behavioral patterns that you've had to come through? Has it looked for you for old belief systems that you've had to recondition and reprogram for you? Has it looked like just the people that you've been hanging out that you've had to let go of? You know, none of this can be comfortable, and sometimes that we have to really show up in our own lives and have these things confront us and come to the surface that we can really move to that next level on our journey, on our ascension. So tonight here on Real Brothers, I know we're all going to be diving in deep about the up-leveling and how it's really affected and played a big part in our life, particularly over these last couple of years.
Beautiful. I love what Sherry Olsen says here. Sherry says, meet your future without your past and your stories.
Yes.
So I'm going to put it out there. Josh Ritcher, I'm going to hit you up first. Any up-leveling? Have you gone through an up-leveling recently, or you think you're in the middle of one? Where are you at in your relationship? Because something has shifted. Before you go there, I do want to say this is I think a huge part of up-leveling is our openness and our willingness to pivot. And what does a pivot? What can a pivot look like? Have you experienced one? And are you in the middle of an up level of any kind? Or are you still battling the devil in the up level?
I think it's probably no surprise because I've read the comments and all of you guys are so beautiful, and thank you for your wonderful support. And we love you, and we love this space that we're all creating together. And thank you, because I think it's no surprise I'm in the middle of a quantum leap right now, and I feel that this one has been coming for a long time. That rubber band has been stretching back, and I'm like right in the middle of the release and the sling out into the next level. And you guys saw it. My dad was part of that, and the exercise that we did in our healing, and sort of that releasing, the shedding of the old. And then I've been doing a lot of work with, one thing we talked about, sort of shedding those old stories, is a big piece of that is forgiveness. And I had a beautiful meditation a couple of weeks ago that I haven't told you guys about yet, but I literally saw in the meditation that the one thing standing between me and the highest Josh, the most sort of authentic, complete, biggest version of me, fullest version of me, was that forgiveness, peace that I still needed to complete with myself. And I literally saw that it was like the one thing standing in my way, and which was a beautiful realization. And I'll be totally honest, in that moment, didn't even know what that was. Like, how does forgiveness look? What is that? I had pictured this jail cell, and it actually came to me. What came to me, the terminology of this place, or what to call this place, was my house of 1,000 deaths. It was where that voice inside my head beat myself up and killed myself over and over and over and over again for my entire life. And it's yes, within the last few years and since my awakening, but that house was still alive and I was still in it, and I hadn't forgiven myself fully. And so I sort of pictured like the jail guard of this place, like, hey man, you've beat yourself up enough. I'm out of here. I'm bored. Here's the keys. You let yourself out. And I stood there with the keys and I was like, what do I do? What's on the outside of this place? And so it's been my discovery over the last couple of weeks, and as this has sort of been unfolding and integrating into my life, this has been sort of that piece that's launching me into this up level in this next part, is this forgiveness. And I've just been wrapping love around that house of 1,000 deaths. I imagine beautiful plants and flowers growing there, the roots of these plants and flowers breaking down the walls. I wanted to bring laughter there, so I imagined children playing and giggling and running around barefoot. I invited in water and a stream, and I truly tried to visualize in this meditation the dismantling of this house of 1,000 deaths that I had locked myself in for all of my life. And I think it's no coincidence that happened 2 weeks ago, and I'm on fire now. Like, this quantum leap is great. I feel amazing. We're gonna light you guys up tonight, because I know it's not just me that's in the middle of a quantum leap right now, and we're excited to share the energy, share the power, because like Ev said, we all had a really big year and unearthed a lot. And I think a lot of us are growing into the next, it's like us 2.0. Let's rock it.
I love that, brother. Love that. Hey, Mr. Jeff Fasano, what about you, my brother?
I know, right?
I think you've been on a little bit of a shift also.
Nah, not much going on here.
Sarcastically said.
Not much going on here at all. Yeah, I mean, a lot of, I wasn't here last week on the show, and I was in Austin, Texas, doing a photo shoot with a band in Lake Travis, and spent 2 days, 3 nights, 2 days with these guys and a whole bunch of other people. And I was where I was throughout the whole thing. And I was in this place of, actually, let me fast forward to waking up when I told you guys in our production meeting about waking up on Tuesday morning in bed and had a major ahas. Just all of these ahas came to me. Realizations came to me. And what I realized that I was doing when I was there was separating myself from the people in the house. And I woke up with this deep sense of sadness and emptiness, and I felt the sadness laying in bed, my eyes open, and just this wave of sadness came over me. And I just stayed with the feeling. I was breathing through it, allowed the feelings to pass. And all of a sudden, it came to me, wow, I was kind of separating myself from what the people in that house were doing. We were all in this big house. We were staying there, and I didn't even realize it. I would speak to everybody individually, but when they got together as a group at night in the pool, I kind of separated myself, and I didn't realize that I was even doing that. And then all of a sudden, a bigger picture of that came in, and I started looking at, what am I doing? It was, wasn't even asking myself these questions. They were just coming to me. All of a sudden I went, am I doing that in my life in general? And I started thinking about that. And then I started thinking about my value in all of this. And I started thinking about how the people at that house were appreciative of me being there, and how they appreciated my talents, gifts, and abilities, because I've done a photo shoot with them before. And all of these things just started to bubble up to the surface. And then this incredible wave of gratitude came up within me. And I started to see all the people in my life who have championed my highest good for a long time. And really, and then looked at the other relationships, like, wait a second, what's important to me? Where am I expending my energy? What's going on here? And then all of a sudden, this value of myself started to come in. And then I started hearing people, say, you're a wonderful photographer, and those people. And the point is that I started to feel it, and a knowingness came into me, and the gratitude came in, and I started to think about you guys and all the people who have been there for a long time. And what I realized even that day was, all of a sudden, the old story, the old behaviors, the patterns, the isolation, the not good enough, the deep feelings of not good enough, that wounding of not good enough, started to lift. And then all of a sudden, what was created inside of me was a place for all of that to land. The first time in my life, I heard what they were saying to me maybe a day or two later, and then it started to land into a knowingness inside of, yeah, I am of value. I am valuable in relationships. My talents and gifts are valuable. And this wasn't coming from a wounded ego place. It was just a knowingness of, yeah, I'm valuable. I'm valuable. I am of value. My talents and gifts are of value. And people have been telling me that for a long time, but there was no place within my heart space for it to land.
Let me ask you this, Jeff. Why was this time different?
Because probably right now, my soul plan, that this is the perfect time of when this was supposed to happen, plus all the inner work that I have been doing to get to this place.
There you go.
These things just don't happen willy-nilly.
There you go.
You have to put in the work to do
What
it.
was your block, Jeff? What was the block before?
The block that was always there was this feeling of not good enough. And then always trying to prove to others that I am good enough. And it was this roller coaster, not even a hamster wheel. It was a roller coaster of that. And all of it, I don't know. It's like, it just culminated on Tuesday morning. And it was my energy has shifted, and raised. Josh called it up leveling. I call it part of our ascension process in this lifetime. I could feel my energy raise. I was ready. I guess, Jay, the answer to your question when we do this work is that we have to be ready for it. And Tuesday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, when my eyes opened, in my soul plan, I was ready to release the old story that I'm not good enough. The old story of the wounded child always thinking he's not good enough. Those feelings will come up now and again, but it's just a release of this old story. As Josh just said, the old chatter, the old story, the old voices, and then energetically, because what happened in that moment, I felt it energetically lift and move.
Okay.
That created.
I'm going to challenge you, Jeff, right now, right here, right now. I'm gonna hit you bullseye because I think we can go a little deeper here.
All right.
And that it's more than just the old story, because we all have the old story, but it's more about, for me, part of the old story. I heard it in a production meeting. It's one word called trust. Even though you receive compliments and accolades, whether it be from friends, whether it be even from a financial transaction, even from us, there's in your head, you're hearing, I don't believe that's true. I don't believe that's true. So even when someone that is paying you and is able to express how much gratitude they have and can see how you show up, whether it be a business transaction in a photo shoot, or it be just in a room between you and a friend, in your mind, you always call bullshit on that. In your mind, you're going, that's not true. That's not true.
What do you want from me?
And there's the next part of that, which is you said that in a meeting, which is, all right, you give me a compliment. There must be something you want from me in return.
Exactly. Yep.
So here's the question, and I'm going to invite Ev and or Josh to jump right in here in this with me, is how do we break the chain to that? Because you had this epiphany, you called it aha moments. You had this massive epiphany coming off of this very successful experience for you. And you had this awareness that even though they gave you the accolades and the compliments, you didn't believe it was true, or you believe that there's something else that they want from you. So how do we heal that shadow? Ev or Josh, either one of you guys are willing to jump in here. What do we do to heal that shadow? Because Mr. Fasano, you are not alone. You are one of millions of people that live in that old story of there's something that somebody wants from me.
But just before you go there, what lifted was that.
What's that?
What lifted was it was so profound that you're giving me this compliment, you're doing this and saying this, but you want something from me. That is not even in the realm of my existence anymore. That's gone. That's what really lifted. Wow. It's like I can't even. I'm in a place like wow, I used to think that, and it's only been a couple of days.
Here's Sherry Olson. Sherry Olson's tips, tricks, and tools are: you got to believe in you. Do more positive I ams. Ev, what do you make of that? And because you said it's lifted and it's gone, but we don't know for sure that it's not going to come back.
Yeah, and this is where we've got to dive in about the science. And I think my brother Josh Ritcher will help me out here, because I was on a podcast yesterday, and one of the things, obviously, we're diving in deep about mind, body, spirit, talking about heart as well. To me, when we're talking about this mind stuff, we've got to really dig deep into this subconscious programming. And what we're talking about here is Jeff, ourselves, me personally, Josh, Jay the Rothman. Up until this point within our lives, a lot of these programs have been on autopilot. So you think if you're in a car, you put it into cruise control, you can really take your hands or your foot off the accelerator. You're just in automatic pilot. Pretty much so has our life been to this point. We're now getting this opportunity to bring that subconscious conscious. But how does that subconscious get programmed? I mean, Sherry's talking about there repeating these particular words to affirm things. Yeah, one of those things, definitely affirmation, which is going to, hit one part of your side of your brain. But for me, my brothers and sisters, it's being able to see, to be able to visualize some of those images that are more serving to you. And what Jeff was saying there is talking about the feelings that he didn't have, that didn't feel right when he was self-sabotaging. Well, we have to replace or reframe some of these emotions or feelings with ones that do feel right.
Mm-hmm.
That persuades the subconscious mind. Otherwise, the feminine, the subconscious mind will just take over and stay in that automatic pilot like I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some of the things that have really helped me through that affirmation, definitely visualizing those different imagery that I've saw from past experiences within my life that I was self-sabotaging with me. But the other one for me, that environment, my brothers and sisters, I keep talking about. Environment is key.
Totally. And I mean, Ev, you called it, man. Like the prefrontal cortex in the brain burns a lot of energy. And so the brain loves to put us back to sleep, put us in cruise control. We don't burn much energy. We can save that energy for fight or flight when we're being chased by a tiger, but that doesn't happen nowadays anymore. And Jeff, what you're feeling right now, there's something that's called cognitive dissonance, and it's when we have this old story, right? The story that we're not good enough. And Jeff, our paths are so close together, and our nuggets and our lessons seem to come right around the same time. And I'm going through the same thing too, and I feel you. But that old story of I'm not good enough, or these people are just saying that, they don't mean it, and all of this, or they want something from us. Well, when we start to entertain a new idea, the brain cannot hold two opposing things. I could be worth something. I have value. I'm talented. I'm good. Everything all these people have been saying for years might be true. Mm-hmm. And the brain goes, whoa, time out. Which one? What do I listen to? We've got the old story, or we've got the new one. What's accurate here? I can't hold both of these because they conflict. And so what the brain does is it automatically, in that moment, launches into scanning your life, all of the history, and it starts going back through and going, wait, but this person said that, and I really respect them. They meant it, and then I was on this job, and that took me to that led me to this bigger thing, and maybe I am talented. And so the brain starts to go through all these events in your life because it's trying to find evidence for which one of those two is true. And I think what happened is it came back in your case, Jeff. The proof was there all along. And that's when the brain can finally drop this old one and start to fully embrace and take on this new, the reality, not the old, or my hand, it was over here, the old story, but take on reality, what evidence in your life backs up as truth. Which is you are amazingly talented, Jeff, and so well loved and appreciated. And now you can hear it.
I have a place for it to land now. What it is that the work that I have been, the inner work, because this stuff just does not happen overnight, folks. Why it's called an inner process. It's a committed personal process, whatever that is for you. And we all say it all the time. It's constant. It's every single day of moving deeper within and doing the work. It's not something that you can go and read a book and then these epiphanies are going to happen overnight. Some might not. Some might take some time for us to go through and break down that armor that we've built inside of us. And then all of a sudden, as we do that, and we moved to it, I moved to a different place, then the old started to release, like Josh just said, those voices, the voices all of a sudden it was like, whoa, wait a second. And then the energy releases. And now I'm looking at it going, yes, yes. Because it's not about when someone says to any of us or to me, yes, you're a wonderfully talented, gifted photographer, that I'm using it for validation anymore. You see, they just said that. Now it's an affirmation. It's moved from needing to validate myself outside of myself to an affirmation of what I already know. And this is all new to me. I mean, this is, it's a whole new place of places to land, and it feels more powerful and exciting and new. It's just, it's a new experience for me.
And what? Sorry, Jay, you go.
No, I was going to just say to Jeff, you know, what I learned how to do in the last 5.5, 6 years is that when I receive a gift of some affirmation, whether it just be a verbal affirmation or some physical gift of love from someone else or acknowledgement, I actually pause in that moment and I take a deep breath in. And sometimes I may even close my eyes because I want to receive it in here, not in here. Because as soon as it goes to here, which is the first place it goes, is through my head, I used to do the same thing as dismiss it. Look, we're both ex-New Yorkers, you know. Just growing up in New York, before you even walk out of your home, there's a lack of trust.
I experienced more of that in Los Angeles than I did in New York.
And I spent most of my adulthood blaming my lack of trust and people's intentions because I blamed it on where I grew up. But that was just an excuse, because the truth is that's part of it. But the bigger part was that I lacked trust within. And to be able to receive a compliment or an acknowledgement or an affirmation, when we're able to receive it, not in our ego space, but really let it drop down into our heart or soul space, it changes our relationship in that moment with what we received, so that we can really receive it in a healthy way, in a way that we've earned that. We've earned that. I want to invite our viewers, if you're still struggling with receiving compliments and or acknowledgments in any way, whether it just be verbal or through a physical gesture or affirmation, drop it down in the comments. We'd love to hear that. But at the same time, if you have stepped in and stepped out of that relationship and changed the story and the script and the narrative, and you've had that up-leveling, stepping through the devil of the up level, let us know that too. And we'd love to know how you did it. What I want to do is I want to take a moment here. Go ahead, Josh.
I would actually go ahead. You go where you're going, and I'll see if it fits in what I'm feeling.
Go ahead. Man. I had my 1 minute.
I was just gonna say, Jeff, like, would you say our devil? Because you and I are so similar, and I guess I can only speak for myself. Maybe you can associate with my feelings, but for me, the devil in the up level for sure was forgiveness, but I think a lot of that was shame. And that was blocking the up level. And I think I'm sort of admitting that to myself lately here. It was like, wow, shame really kept me from taking in the truth that we were hearing from the outside and from other people and stuff like that. You know, exactly what you're talking about, Jeff. Was it the same for you?
For me, it really was a lack of trusting me. It was about me. It wasn't about. It was just. It's like I said, when we were in our production meeting. It's challenging for me to even explain it. Because it's me. It was me. It wasn't. It was conditioning. Put it this way: my father never trusted anybody. If something wonderful happened in my life, my father would say, "Just wait." Just wait for the other shoe to drop. You can't trust this wonderful thing that just happened. Just wait. And that was his conditioning. That was his wounding. And so it basically, when something wonderful would happen, it was never about that's great. Take it in. You earned it. Something like that. It was always just wait. Can't trust that. Just wait. So that was the conditioning. And that was the voice of just wait. And then, like I'm telling you, Tuesday, it was like, whoa. Whoa.
Check this out, Jeff. Carrie Crary says, and realize no matter where it comes from or whether the compliment has good intentions, it's still true about the real me. So in that moment, as soon as we go to the old script or old narrative, we could have the awareness to say, which is true. Catch yourself with the new awareness. Catch yourself. It's kind of retraining your brain to dismiss that as the truth and be able to receive it. Well, it's really interesting. I struggled with trust, and I had no idea. I was actually the last therapist that I saw. I shared this before with you guys. The last time I saw him, he said, "You're going to have to learn how to trust yourself." And I said, "Well," and he goes, "What? Time's up. We'll see you next week." And I never promised to come back. But that's not the punchline. The punchline is it wasn't until about 4 years later, I was on a trail in nature by myself, and I had that moment of clarity. It just came back to me. I finally understood what he meant by I had to learn how to trust myself. I didn't trust other people, so clearly it was just a mirror of who I really didn't trust was myself. And that lack of trust comes from the inheritance that we get from our ancestors, as you just shared, Jeff. But it also comes from, I believe it's part of lacking self-love. And so part of the coming home, the journey of coming home to self, has to do with when we start to be able to love ourselves and honor ourselves and respect ourselves, we can begin to understand that we are now trustworthy to receive loving compliments and affirmations. Even this week, I've had a few experiences where friends have made beautiful invites to me. And my first go-to was, what's the catch?
Yeah.
Is there a catch? And for me to be able to stop myself in the tracks, in the moment, and say, wow, this is, because when we're not used to receiving it, and with an open heart and an open mind, clear heart, it changes the relationship with it. To be able to receive a gift of a compliment today, it feels so beautiful. It feels so much love behind it. And not to have to feel the need to question why someone is willing to do something for you or offer something to you. And just to be able to receive it and not doubt it or question it is such a beautiful experience. What do you make of all this, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, like we were all saying, I mean, this is not going to happen overnight. This programming, this reprogramming, this whole process is ongoing. And so, the more we retrain ourselves, but definitely be able to let go of some of those old stories that we've been telling ourselves up until this point, then it takes practice day after day after day. We have to put it into our self-care. We have to put it into our non-negotiables. We have to put it up as our boundaries. This is just like being in the gym. This is just like my playtime out in nature. It's got to be daily practice. And this is the only way that the subconscious and that beautiful person that really wants to just come through is going to reveal itself.
Yep.
So, yeah, 100%, my brother. We've got to do it daily, my brothers and sisters.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, and for me, like, you know, it was 5 years for me of like tending the garden, you know, putting in good soil, you know, doing the work and seeing the plants grow and watering them and going out and making sure there was shade when it was sunny, that self-care, that taking care of, you know, it's all that, just like love and unearthing old skeletons and going through in, you know, through the process with awareness and love. And then all of a sudden now, within the last couple of months, everything's just like bloomed and blossomed. And it's like, so yeah, the up level, there's a lot of work beforehand, but I feel like, you know, if there's that collective energy, which I truly feel that there is throughout a lot of us, and a lot of the work that everybody was forced into this last year, that unearthing of those skeletons and all the stuff we didn't want to look at, but we had to, let's pull each other through this, and let's power up that energy. You know, I'm drawn back to something that Brendan Burchard said, which was truly beautiful, is that we don't look outside you for that energy. You are not attached to some power station, and we're not waiting for that power station to send more energy to us. We are the power station.
I love that.
And the universe has to match us. That's the rule. That's the number one rule. When I was down in shame and failure and all of that you guys have heard me talk before, my power station was so low, and the universe met me there. But now that Jeff and I and Ev and Jay are cranking it up, we are just like, you know, putting that power station on overdrive, and all the lights are just like, you know, firing up around us. The universe has to meet us there too. And amazing opportunities are coming through. I mean, it's be the power station.
Love that.
Be the power station.
Hey, Josh, I want to take a moment here, gentlemen. I just want to honor and acknowledge Carrie Crary. This is so beautiful, because such vulnerability and honesty and transparency shown on Real Men, Real Talk Live in this moment. She says, I was exploited by males and shamed by females through school over looks. Those compliments became tainted. Not now. I receive them. My blessings are mine. Yours are yours. What a power statement right there. And it takes such beautiful courage. This is how we heal as a community. You know, for Carrie to share this was her truth. And you know what, Carrie? I have no doubt you are one in millions of other women that were exploited by males as a sex object and shamed by females through school over looks, through the jealousy. And you know, your story is not uncommon, but when you're in it, it feels like you're alone. And here's what I want to say to you right here, right now, Carrie. You never are alone. You never have to be alone anymore. I also want to take a moment here just to acknowledge, for those that are live in Arizona, where I call home today, there's massive wildfires that the fires are raging in Arizona right now, in many parts of the state, and many of the fires are not contained or very low containment. And so if you are in harm's way, we all want to acknowledge you and pray that the rains continue to come and you stay safe and healthy, and that the fires and the firemen and women that are fighting the blazes are safe, and they are the real heroes today in the state of Arizona. Wow, that's just hit me what Carrie said, because you know I know how much courage and what you had to go through to get here, to be able to share this with the universe tonight on Real Man, Real Talk. We love you too, Carrie, and it's time to release any shadows that are left with that, because none of that matters today. What matters is you are an absolutely beautiful woman, and we know who you are, and we love you for who you are. Welcome home, Carrie Craig.
Yeah, beautiful sister. Absolutely
Jess,
beautiful.
I want to come back to you because you shared in your up leveling it's about forgiveness for yourself. And I want to ask you, because that was a couple of weeks ago when you kind of went through that deep meditation. Where are you in that process today, and how have you up leveled from that experience in and out? Where are you at in this moment?
To be honest, I haven't put. I guess I haven't really put any conscious thought as to like where I am in that process. I sort of just have been being extra good to myself and allowing the energy to move finally, that energy that's been stuck. And just really leaning deep into self-love and honor and working out and eating good food and just, loving this vessel deeper than I ever have in my entire life. And it's probably no surprise that it's coincidentally happening right now. And but when you're asking me now to compare back to then, which I haven't yet, and I'll do it right here. I didn't know how to get out of that concrete box that I had locked myself in that moment of realizing it. But I can honestly say I'm out now. And I'm not stuck in there anymore. And I'm not sure where I am. Kind of like Jeff, when you're in the lesson, it's sometimes hard to define it. It's sort of this, moving energy, and plus in Jeff, in my case, it's new. And the brain's trying to compare it to something it doesn't know. So there is that confusion, and there is that, sort of, I've coached friends in the past that are in, it's sort of this like free fall where your brain is trying to grasp onto something familiar and there's nothing there. Because you don't know, as Jay says, you don't know what you don't know. And the brain has never been to this new up-leveled place before. So a free fall is good because it means you are in new territory and new things await, new possibilities, new opportunities. You're out of the old story. So if you're in free fall, trust. Lean even deeper into trust and surrender. And I know it feels there's an anxiety to it. That's natural. It's your brain trying to figure it out. But remind yourself that this is good. It means that you're moving into the new, you're letting go of the old. And so yes, I can't say where I'm at in the process, and that's probably a good thing.
And what do you think's different now, my brothers? Like, Jeff and Josh, you shared some beautiful realizations and awareness. What do you think's different for so many of us now in what we're currently living in? Whereas the old paradigm, we would have tried to, really find relief when we were going through these dark and hard times into the shadow. But why are we able to move through it now?
Well, if we actually utilized 2020 as a year of moving within and paused our lives and said, you know what, now I'm going to move within and start doing some inner work, which is what I did in April of 2020. I decided, I'm going to go deeper. I've been doing the work for 20 years. I said, you know what? I need to go deeper. There needs to be significant inner changes within me to release myself, because the old ways of doing things aren't working anymore. And I know, you know what? On the other side of this global pause, they're not going to work on the other side of that anymore. So I made a choice to say, you know what? I'm going to work with someone to help me have a safe place to land. And I'm going to tell them what I want to work on, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to really move within. And it's been incremental shifts and various little ahas and awakenings, and then expansions, quantum physics. Right now, what Josh is talking about is that personally, I'm in an expansion in my life. That's what it is. It's an expansion. Then it'll slowly contract. When the contract energetically comes, it's not going to be a contraction into the old. It's going to be a contraction into a neutral or a level place where I can just be with a knowingness of who I am deep inside of me, new value, and as Jay said earlier, a totally new love of self.
There you go.
Love it.
Hey, Ev, I want to ask you, Ev, have you had any up-leveling lately, or are you in a downshift, or are you in an upshift?
I'm in contentment mode, my brother. And I've integrated the shadows, a lot of the stuff that I've been talking about over the last couple of months, about that dark and that light energy that I keep talking about. I've been able to integrate, and I see it as karmic stuff. I see it as cause and effect stuff. But I've been able to integrate both of those energies that have allowed me to up-level within my life. And, we're all going to get some of these initiations just to see. Universe will keep throwing it at you, man, just to see if you've taken those upgrades. And that never stops. And that's why I keep saying, my brothers and sisters, this journey is ongoing.
Yes. And we'll always, and whatever just said, the universe is always going to test us to see exactly where we are. And then, and the universe always will. And everybody out there who's watching us now and listening to us now knows that's going to happen. It's just a matter of how we respond to it from the new place that we're in, a new depth of ourselves, a new loving place within ourselves so I can respond to it, as opposed to moving into the shadow and sinking into the shadow. Oh, I'm in a shadow, and now sinking into it, isolating, separating, and we don't have to do that anymore.
No.
Beautiful.
Love that, brother. Love that.
Hey, gentlemen, you're not going to believe, but we're 8 minutes from the hour, so we're going to step into the next segment. Whoa. We're going to go into musical and magical chairs, and tonight we're going to mix things up a little bit. Instead of me targeting each one of you with a question, I'm going to call it open room tonight, which means what that means is I'm going to put Josh is going to be in a hot seat first. We're going to have 2 minutes to answer a question. And
you know what, Jay? Time out real quick. I'm going to throw a wrench in the gear too. Can I lead us out?
Sure.
Something just hit me, and I want to lead us out tonight. Is that cool?
Yep.
Beautiful. Love that.
All right. So, Ev, you're in a hot seat right now.
All right, brother.
Here
we go.
And so, Jeff, I'm going to invite you to ask Evis a question.
Come on, Jeff.
Hit him hard.
Let me cool down. It's still fresh.
Give him a deep question so he can show some vulnerability tonight. We want to open him wide open right here, right now.
I've never shown enough on this show, have I?
No. It's always deeper.
What's coming up for me is, and we've spoken about this often, and we even toyed with it being a subject, and it goes back to Ev, when you're just talking about the daily practice, the daily work. I'm trying to phrase this. The question I have is how, man, we've all done this. How and have you fully let go of looking outside of yourself for the next hit of gratification of, for example, I'm going to go do this new 3-day workshop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go listen to this person's, I can't even find the word, like the constant looking outside of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Have you, and how have you shifted to let go of that need to get the hit from the nervous system to a place of fulfillment inside of yourself, where you have made it a practice within and not without?
Damn. Deep. Yeah, I love that. I love that, brother. And how I did that, Jeff, and I've mentioned this in shows previously before, is that when I went from labels and status to purpose and service, I saw there was a bigger picture being painted, bigger than what I am. I had to give myself, and I had to acknowledge where I was trying to find validation from, gratification, like you mentioned, or why I was doing that. But I had to come outside myself to find that. And that was fear of rejection. It was a big one within my life. And that's why I keep saying I had to go back to my early childhood when I was feeling rejected. That overcome in the past relationships, that feeling of rejection then. It came up in career opportunities where I was rejected. Whatever it came up as, it was still the same energy, emotions, and feelings that I was feeling. So once I was able to acknowledge the big one within my life, which was that rejection, when I was able to become aware of it and accept, I keep saying this word, my brothers and sisters, accept where I was within my life from my previous experience and past experiences, then I was able to trust, like we're talking about tonight, in this process. Because I know, my brothers and sisters, I am divinely guided. I trust in thyself, but I also trust that there is something bigger than me. When we start to understand that we are co-creating this beautiful thing we called life, this beautiful thing we call our reality, then I was able to accept that I didn't need any validation. I didn't need any gratification. I just needed what I knew. And that was going to be enough. So, I mean, there was tools that I've picked up along the way, and I've dropped plenty of them on a Real Men Real Talk Live, my brothers and sisters. And tonight, you know, I'm sure once we watch this replay, we're going to be able to put even more in our little bag, in our little adventure.
Trust the process.
Trust the process, my brothers and sisters.
Wow. Trust the process, which is life.
It's life itself. Yeah, it's life.
And let me ask you, which part of ourselves do you think resists trusting the process? Is it our younger self, or is it our ego state?
It's the ego. That's why I keep saying, just give the ego nothing but love. The younger created the ego, the inner child created the ego, but it was only to protect itself. So all those times that I did feel rejected, I very cleverly created that ego to protect me, to keep me safe from the devil on the next level. So when I was able to let go, like I said, and trust in this process, and when my higher self came into this vehicle I call my body, my brothers and sisters, I picked up the new tools. I picked up the intuition again. I picked up the instincts. And now, so importantly, my brothers and sisters, and I talked about the subconscious tonight, I picked up again, I'm imagination. So everything that I create now, I'm creating it through the imagery, I'm creating it through my emotions, and most importantly, through my daily actions.
Bringing it home. Carrie Curry says, teach us, Evis, teach us. Up the mic.
Love you, sister.
Beautiful.
You know, it's interesting. You answered. I didn't think you were going to say ego. I really thought you were going to say the younger child, because I know when I was a younger child, we tend to be very impatient.
Mm-hmm.
We want instant gratification. We want it now. And if we can't get it now, what do? When we're a child, we have a temper tantrum. Well, not all of us, but some of us. I had temper tantrum meltdowns.
You know, I was never the temper tantrum, my brother. I was very fortunate in that way. And that's why my personal life, it was definitely ego.
So Laura says, imagination.
Yeah, I'm image nation.
Beautiful.
Interesting. Laura Ducey coming from Florida. Welcome to Real Men Real Talk Live. We'd love to see you here, and welcome home. She says, thank you. The ego is tired. Biofeedback helps. It's interesting. You said the ego is tired. In the last month or two, I've said to Mary a number of times, I'm tired.
Yep.
I'm tired of the fight.
Yep. Yep.
I'm tired of fighting the freaking devil.
Yeah.
Amen.
And that to me is ego surrendering, brother. The ego has put its gloves down. Give it nothing but love. Give it a role. Give it some orders and direction, a directional life. And then the ego can actually be part of the vehicle as we go into this new way of living.
It moves into the healthy ego.
100%. 100%, brother.
Jay, I'm right with you, man.
You just made me realize that was probably the jail guard that was outside my cell.
100%,
like, dude,
Josh.
He's like, dude, I'm tired, man. You take the keys. I'm out of here.
It's that inner fight. It's that inner, Josh, at one point in one of the shows, you were talking about the constant chatter in our heads, the constant chatter of whatever those voices or whoever those voices are, that chatter, like turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. And then what Jay just said, Jay, I feel I'm right with you. We have this inner fight with ourselves going on inside of us.
Yeah.
And like you said to Mary, I'm just tired. I'm tired of that fight within myself of needing to prove that I'm good enough, needing to prove that I'm lovable, needing to prove all the friggin' time. And it's like, whoa, man. And then after a while, you just surrender because you're exhausted.
Yeah.
And that's all the ego wants is attention.
Yes.
All right, I'm putting myself in a hot seat right here, right now. Who wants to hit me with a question for the night?
I'm going deep, brothers. I'm going to leave it to you.
Go ahead, Josh.
Josh, I'm going to invite you, Josh. I want you to give me with a good question tonight. And before you go there,
you know what was beautiful? Are you going to talk about our time?
I was just going to bring that up, but I'm open to hear what you have to say about that.
No, I was just going to say, I don't know if the viewers know, since Jay was in Southern California, we got to spend a huge portion of last Sunday together, and to get hours with you, Jay, where we could just talk and throw ideas out and just be in the presence of one another. And truly, I got to appreciate you and bask in that love and honor and the space that we hold for one another. And it's been one of the greatest joys, Jay. And here we've known each other, for all of us, for a year and been pouring our hearts out.
I think you and I go back 2.5 years, coming up on 3 years.
Yeah.
But it's
to share space.
Yeah.
Was amazing. And I love you. I love you, Jay. You have one of the most amazing hearts of anybody I've ever met. And it was so special to share that time with you last Sunday. And I look forward to more of all of us face to face, where we can just be together. The hearts of you guys are some of the most pure and amazing in the world. And I have the most love for all of you and our viewers and the space that we've all created here together. So
very special, very special.
Thank you, Josh. The feelings are absolutely mutual. I've said to Mary on more than one occasion over the past now over a week that we've been down here to stay out of the smoky Sedona air, since the national forest is closed down. So my hike and heal experiences are off right now. I'm on sabbatical, but definitely been one of the highlights of my time on this trip. And not only did we get together and have a meal, we actually had a sleepover. We slept in your beautiful new home.
Oh, nice.
It was absolutely beautiful. So I did all that.
It was like teenage years. Like you and Mary were in the bed and we're all like lights out. We're giggling and it was great.
Oh, I love that.
We had a hard time going to sleep. You know how? Remember when we were kids? we had these sleepovers, and it's midnight, and you're still laying in bed talking, chatting away.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've got the sun setting, and it's just there's no way I can control it. There's no shade here, so
you're glowing, brother. You're glowing.
It's just lighten you up, Jay.
That's it, brother.
But in any event, Josh, you had beautiful moments here to stall. You have a question for me?
You see right through my.
It's okay. I was going to say the same thing. It was an absolutely beautiful time that we spent together, and on some level, I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
The time was so beautiful and it meant so much. I remember we gave each other a hug and we kept giving more hugs, it's like one more hug, it just wasn't enough. And it's just, I never experienced that in my life before with another man, and
beautiful.
That's going to be my question, Jay. Why are you emotional right now? What are you feeling?
Connection. Love. I can't even put it into words, but to have a connection where, and we didn't even do the eye gazing, exercise that I do when I'm on the trails with my guests and clients. But when I'm with you, physically to be there, you have such a beautiful heart, and what our viewers see in Real Men Real Talk Live is who you are. It's how you are. I know all of us show up the same way, but to be in your presence and to have watched you go through your downloads and your downshifts and your upshifts and your up levels and facing your own devil, and on multiple occasions and seeing where you're at today. I don't know, Josh. It's new for me. New as a man to really understand what it feels like to love another man. In a way much more profound, much more deeper than anything I've ever experienced. And it's something that Mary said to me when we first connected and when we first met. And she said, and to the day I take my last breath, I'll always remember this. She said, "You make it easy. You make it easy, Josh Ritcher."
Mm.
Mm. Mm.
And I don't know why I get emotional other than that's my heart. That's my soul speaking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's, and I just wish, I hope for all of our viewers, all of the men in the universe and women that have had a blocked heart to be able to express love, feel love, reveal love, understand love, to experience what you and I experienced as men. And I wish this for my own sons.
Mm.
And I don't think it's possible until we have done our work.
Mm-hmm.
Until we have broken the umbilical cord to the lack of trust.
Mm.
Until we have broken the chain to pain
Mm.
and shadows and wounds and come home. This is what coming home is about.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just between men and women. You know, this is the love that I would see on a rare occasion between women. And often wonder what that can be like, what that can feel like. I know what that feels like today. Well, there's my short answer, Josh Ritcher.
You just,
Beautiful, my brother.
Jay, you just gave the definition of brotherly love.
Yeah, man.
The heck did I say, Fasano?
We'll have to
That's what brotherly love is.
I want to say two more things. Josh.
No, you
Well, yeah.
we're now, it's now 1 hour and 12 minutes. I think we can fill an hour. You guys think we can fill an hour? No,
It's also about gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, tears, for me, the tears are tears of gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we couldn't have written a better script than this script right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this script was written because we're each showing up and we're doing the work and we're not leaning into someone to make us feel better today.
Mm-hmm.
Because each time we do that, we get blindsided, we get smacked, we get another download.
Mm-hmm.
If you are watching us and you are struggling, if you are right now hurting, this is your time.
Mm-hmm.
This is your time to show up. This is your time to grow up. Do the work. Face your own pain, your sadness, your wounds, your shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And stop relying or waiting for someone to take care of you. It's you.
Mm-hmm.
We've been here before. You've heard me say it. Take care of that little girl. Take care of that little boy inside. Fasano, you're up.
Oof.
Hey, could it before somebody hits me across the back of my head with the 2x4? This is about the four of us, folks, and I'm probably going to get a little emotional here. Jay just talked about gratitude, and that's what I'm feeling right now. But what we do here is the four of us. It's amazing. Josh brought in the word shame before. and if you've been watching what we've been doing for over a year now, what we're doing is based on our own internal boundaries. We're being very authentic and transparent here. We're sharing a lot of what is happening in our lives personally, how we feel. We're sharing ourselves in a way to model to you folks out there that you can do this too. And we're doing it live on TV. And the gratitude that I have for the three of you guys, that we hold an amazing safe place for each other to do this. Jay just revealing so much about how he feels about not only Josh, but the rest of us, and doing it in such a way that what we're here to do is be models, folks, for one another. It's about creating a new model. Mom and dad created a model for us. What we're here to do in this lifetime, folks, is break that mold and create a new model that begins with us. And I think what the four of us are doing without even realizing it is that's what we're doing. By sharing our heart, our experiences with you, transparent and authentic, and we still have our inner boundaries. This is the way, for me, relationships are formed. Honest, truthful, transparent, and authentic. On top of that, there's no shame. These guys aren't shaming me when I'm feeling and moving into a deep place. I'm not shaming Josh, Jay, nor Evis when they're moving into this deep place and revealing themselves. What we're doing, folks, is holding a space for everyone. And that's what we have to do in this world now. Hold a space for your brother. Hold a space for your sister. Be that person so they can share. And you're there energetically holding that space to let them know that it's safe.
Love that, brother.
That's what we're doing here, folks.
Claim that space. I love it, my brother.
Take a nice deep breath, Jeff. Because I want to invite you to feel what you just revealed, what you just shared. I want you to feel it. Lean into it. Stephanie Paris says, healing shows up weekly. That's what I love the most. They allow each other safety to heal. This is it's such a profound statement. She's basically echoed what you shared. And it's profound because as men and women, especially if we tend to want to protect and rescue someone we care about, we tend to want to step into solutions for them and giving them their answers. And that's not how it works between the four of us at all. What we do is we just give each other that space to express what we're feeling. And most of our breakthroughs happen because we're we're transactional. We're hearing each other. We're listening to each other. It's magical. But you could have the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, Josh, are you ready?
Let's do this. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being with us this last year, and thank the newcomers. Welcome to our safe place and your safe place, because we're holding this space for you too. We aren't getting paid for this.
Mm-hmm.
We do this because we love ourselves enough to go through the process, because we love each other enough, like Jeff and Jay have witnessed, are feeling deeply right now tonight. I am too, because we're worth it. You're worth it. We're beautiful. And all of you are equally on that plane with us. And thank you for creating this space and allowing the message to come through, because we don't plan this. We don't know what's going to happen. We just all drop into the show and surrender, and whatever's going to come out comes out. Tears, lessons, nuggets. This isn't scripted. It isn't planned. And we just do this to support you all and to help anybody out there that's struggling in the darkness that we all fought through. So yeah, there's no lessons there. I mean, there's no teaching going on here. We're just all experiencing life together. And I want to leave us on a, the brain doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. Ev, you so beautifully and eloquently have described your imagination and how important that is to you, which I've been adopting more of that here since you brought it up, because it's beautiful. And that is the playground. That is creation. That is the creation energy. And we're all connected in this universe and tapping into that energy. So I want to lead us all into a new reality. So I invite everybody to close your eyes right now. This is our reality, our creation. Take a deep breath in and let it out. In and let it out. Now I want you to imagine the sun, the awesome power of the sun. It lights and heats our world every day. For billions of years, the sun has had this energy within it that is unwavering. But we are connected to that. We are the same dust in the universe that the sun is. So imagine its golden tendrils of awesome power and light, this gold beam coming out of the sun and hitting your body. And your body just taking it in. Become that power station. We are connected to all things. That power is within us. Turn it on. Let that power flow through you. And remember, there are billions of stars in the universe. Now picture those tendrils and the power from those stars starting to light you up and connect to you. Surrounding your whole body in 360, these golden tendrils of light just fueling you and filling you with this amazing power. And now imagine above you, this white light of love pours down on your body. cleansing every soul in your body and interacting with that golden light and power from all these stars, and you just start to shine even brighter, and like this beautiful dance within you just sparking you up huge, like this glowing aura around you, taking in all of that energy and love, and you're so grateful for how you feel right now. That connection to all things, our connection to each other, this beautiful love energy, this creation energy, this light. Take it in. This is our reality. You're the power station. You are the universe. You are the love. You are the light. And I invite all of you to come back and open your eyes. And we're going to carry that energy with us because we are everything.
Mm.
As Ev says, we can make that our reality every day.
Mm.
And that is every bit as real, if not more, than everything I can touch right now. And that's from within. And nobody, no one, no thing, no place, nothing can take that from you when it comes from here.
Mm.
And that's the control we have in this life.
Mm. Mm.
Where did that come from, brother? Oh, man. You're so beautiful, brother. Wow.
I love you guys.
Mm.
I'm going to close out in this moment. Thank you, Josh, so much for that. Shannon says, thanks, Josh. I am breathing in a powerful light. I'm also breathing out toxicity.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Let the white light, I'd imagine the white light just cleansing my cells. The darkness can't live there. It just has to fall off you.
Mm.
But that's one of my favorite. I call that, I call that connecting to 1,000 stars or 1,000,000 stars. It's one of my favorite meditations to do for myself.
Mm.
And it just lights me up in the morning. I leave the house on fire.
Mm.
Man, I just saw all those stars just lining up and connecting with each other. Boom, 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 boom. Just all that interconnectedness. It was beautiful. Yeah, man.
This web of light.
Took me deep, brother. Took me deep.
Well, viewers, I'm going to just close this out tonight, put a pretty bow on the show, and say thank you. Thank you for supporting Real Men Real Talk Live. Hopefully you heard something on this episode, number 63, that begins your up-leveling. And embrace it, honor it, respect it, open your heart to it. And through it, you will come out one level up.
Mm.
I love you guys. I love you viewers. Thank you for showing up right on time. Mary Kelly says, please share the show out. We invite you to share it out on YouTube and or right here on the Facebook channel. Stay safe. Do some self-care this weekend. If you're in your weekend overseas, enjoy your Saturday. Get out in nature if you can. Do some self-care. We love you. We'll see you all next week on Real Men, Real Talk Live. Peace and blessings.